Families living in the shadow of the Stellantis Mack assembly plant tonight have lingering concerns about air quality. They sounded off on odor and health worries as state regulators listened at yet another meeting. At the center of it all is a permit for a second piece of equipment to address the issues, but it was already installed months ago. 7 News Detroit reporter Brett Cast explains what it all means for the air the residents breathe.
Well, this was not the first meeting on the issue. In fact, residents who live nearby this plant have been complaining for years with their concerns about the air quality.
We want to kind of minimize it and diminish it by saying odors, but there's pollution happening in our community.
So why would you ever want to be able to increase particulate matter like you're doing here?
When you're talking about dropping a bomb in somebody's community and people have asthma and different things going on, this should be considered in what you're doing.
Concerns, questions, and more concern from residents who live near the Stellantis Mack assembly plant, upset over what they say are ongoing health issues from the air quality.
It's been 5 years. We've been through 3 or 4 different fixes, supposedly, and we're still having the same issues.
That's Robert Schob, who's lived in his home for 28 years, more than 2 decades before the plant was built directly behind him. We first talked to him about his concerns back in April of 2022.
I still smell stuff. I still have health issues. People in my community are doing the same thing.
Michigan's Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, known as EGLE, says they've issued about 9 or 10 violations to the plant, which have all been addressed, including nuisance violations for the odor. They're now considering a permit from Stellantis to install a second thermal oxidizer, which has already been installed and operating for over a year.
Typically, we wait until the permit's issued before the equipment's installed, but because of the enforcement action and the odor issues, we thought it wise for the company to move forward in installing that equipment.
EGLE says since being installed, the equipment has reduced the number of certain chemicals being emitted into the air, but the permit request from Stellantis is also asking for an increase in the amount of particulate matter the plant can emit.
There's always the ability for us to add additional restrictions, additional requirements, additional record keeping, all those sorts of things to kind of maybe address community concerns.
In response, Stellantis says the increased limit is needed to operate that second thermal oxidizer, saying in part, quote, "The particulate matter permit limits for the Detroit Assembly Complex Mack facility are already among the lowest in the industry."
My hope is that they deny the permit. My expectation is that it's a done deal already.
And EGLE says residents who cannot make the meeting still have time to submit their comments by September 9th. On the east side of Detroit, I'm Brett Cast, 7 News Detroit.